I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money. I really need that money. Really need that money. Really, that money. That money.
And again, that's why when people ask me, Phil, why do you play Street Fighter 6 if you don't like it? It's not that I don't like it. I do enjoy modern fighting games. I do. I like having competition in this style, this genre. The problem is, I just wish that they would stop saying it's better than it is and stop kissing this game's butt and acting like it's the best fighting game of all time. It's definitely not. Okay, it has a lot of shortcomings, a lot of issues that never have been addressed by Capcom. Like when they update this game, they never actually tweak it to make it better. All they do is they say, oh, how do we adjust it? Let's just tweak the top tiers a little bit. And then that's it. But what about Lily, who's arguably the worst character in the game, and you never really have improved? I think once ever they gave her like one small advantage, and then they nerfed something else at the same time. So what is going on? Why can't they make a game that's balanced and a game that's more fun to play with more variety instead of the top tiers pretty much all playing the same? I don't know. I don't know if it's ineptitude. I don't know if they just don't care because they think the top tiers look flashy in a tournament setting and therefore they're more entertaining to watch. I couldn't tell you. But that's what's disappointing to me is not that the game is bad, but the game could definitely be better. And it's been almost 3 years and the game's not any better. It's pretty much the same. So it is what it is. I will have to deal with it today. Hopefully it will be a fun afternoon stream for everyone once we get into Street Fighter 6 again. Okay. So thanks for being here early. We're going to chill for a bit and see what you guys want to chat about and then go from there. We got a few shout outs to do already, so we might as well begin. We start off with Chimchar with a $2 super chat, and he says, what netcode is better than Rollback then? There is none because no one's invented another one since Rollback, which is my point. Rollback was invented in the 2000s, okay? 20 years ago. And since then, everyone just says, oh, Rollback's the best. Well, then why not invent something better? Why did we stop? Why did we just say, oh, Rollback's better than the old lag-based netcode? Cold stop. Don't develop anything else ever again. I don't know. But it's funny because when a game doesn't even have it, people beg for it, then they add it. It's like, but yeah, but it still sucks. It's not any better. It looks better. Again, Rollback netcode makes the game look better. It makes it look like it's going smoothly. Meanwhile, it's dropping a lot of your inputs. So as the competitive player, you're frustrated. As the viewer, you don't care. You're like, oh, this looks pretty. So it sells, right? It goes into all these games. They all want it because the game looks good online. It looks good in tournament. It makes it look better than it is. But that's not the reality of the competitive play. I'm sorry. Sorry that I'm one of the few people who's honest about this stuff. And because I have no stake whatsoever in the FGC. I don't care if these games sell well or don't. I don't care if the stream for the most popular, fighting game gets a bunch of viewers and makes a lot of sponsorship money. I'm not invested in it. I just play them casually and have fun and cover them in my own way. I don't consider myself part of the FGC at all. So, they've also said, which I didn't even know, apparently the best internet in the United States right now is actually in the Northeast, like where I came from, supposedly. And then particularly also in the Washington, D.C. area. Like that's where the best internet is. So if you live in those areas and you're playing against people in those areas, you can have almost lag-free, almost no input dropped connections. But apparently, for what I'm going to understand, the internet infrastructure on the West Coast is way worse. So my internet has actually been way worse than a lot of people who are playing fighting games. And there's nothing I can do about that because that's based on the infrastructure out here and how the netcode works and takes advantage of it, So anyway, it is what it is. We're going to have an afternoon. We're going to see how it goes. There's nothing better than Rollback, but that doesn't mean that we should have given up on netcode 25 years ago because Rollback was invented. It means that maybe we should actually strive for something better because it's inferior and it drops inputs and it's frustrating as shit. Just saying. Okay. Vasil did a $13.13 super chat. And he says, here's to hoping for some good games and getting to master today. Thank you very much, Vasil. Let's get that on the leaderboard here. I appreciate that. And looks like we had 500 kicks from 220. Did you consider renaming this to the DSP afternoon show? That way you can have a place to put any new segments. Huh? What do you mean? No, the only complaint I've heard is people say, well, the DSP morning show takes place in the afternoon for most people. Well, for me, this show started 10, 15 minutes ago, and it was the morning. I still have another 22 minutes of morning, and the show will go another 22 minutes. Now, it may go longer than that, and that's okay, but it starts in the morning. So you name the show after when the show starts, not when the show ends, right? It's fine. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's a moot point what the show is called. You know? I can call it DSP Dicks Around for all I care. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. It's just us killing time before we start with gameplay and getting topics out of the way so that basically we can focus on gameplay once I start with gameplay, you know? Because the problem is if I, and I've always said this because people used to complain, why do you do a pre-stream at all? Why do you talk before your gameplay? And my answer was always the same, because if I don't do this, the moment that we start with gameplay, like let's say I just turned on the stream, we immediately jumped into Street Fighter 6. People would start tagging me, asking me questions, want to talk, and I'm not going to talk because it's time for Street Fighter 6, right? It's time for us to start the gameplay. So then people would be upset, oh, why is Phil ignoring us? Why doesn't Phil talk to us? Why isn't he interactive? Well, because I'm busy and we're going to play a game now. You see, this is a hangout session that we do so that we can have these conversations. I can tell you about topics that are on my mind, tell you about what's coming up in the day. You know, have this back and forth so that then we can focus on the game when we start with the game. Particularly with Street Fighter 6, you know I can't really talk with you guys that much when I'm playing it. I can only talk between sets. So we really have way less interaction on a Street Fighter 6 day than a normal day. So it makes sense to have a show like this, right? Let's say I renamed the show the DSP Afternoon Show. Then you'd have people who would be like, oh, but it's evening for me. What if I called it the DSP Brunch Show? They'd be like, oh, I'm eating dinner. So it doesn't make sense. So it doesn't matter what I call the show. It really doesn't. Someone's going to whine and complain and be a stickler because no matter what DSP does, it's wrong. That's always the mentality of the internet. It doesn't matter what I do or what I say, it's wrong. Right now, I could come up with the ultimate cure for all types of cancer, okay? Then I could walk out into the street and I could stop a gang from shooting up a neighborhood single-handedly. Then aliens could land, try to invade, and I could blow up their spaceship, saving the planet. And then a meteor could come to strike Earth, and I could punch it with my fist and destroy it, saving all of humanity forever. And they would say, man, he snorted when he did it. What a joke. And then they make memes about it on the internet. So I don't care what the name of the show is. It doesn't matter. Okay? Okay. And that is, here we go. We're going with the troll contributions again as we start. Good. Thanks for the troll contribution. Okay. I mean, that was pretty pertinent, wasn't it? It was very good timing right there. Okay. So what else is going on? Game Boy, how you doing? Good to see you, Game Boy. How are you, man? Who else do we got? Because some more people joined. Casanova, how are you? Says The Breakfast Show. Again, call it The Breakfast Show. Everyone will complain.